Sorry, I stopped February. And Tony seconds. We had Christy Jarrell from Jarrell Consulting come in and speak about our project for the new tower. Rebecca Trosper spoke about the non-for-profit organization for the feral cats issue in town. We'll start a TNR, trap, neuter, and release program. She is hoping this new program will slow down the reproduction of feral cats and lower the damage that can be done to properties by the feral cats. We'll start taking donations once the non-for-profit is set in place. There was no police report. The water report was read by Jeff. Following up on the sidewalks, everyone is liable per our town attorney, said the town. The property owners could both be liable for injuries made by the broken sidewalk. The sidewalks on State Road 32 belong to the county. They are not town owned. Sandblasting is done on the Opera House and the connecting buildings. The cruise in for May collected over $800 in donations. With no further business, the meeting was adjourned.
You were right when you said May.
Was that what you
Yeah, between May.
Okay.
And we accepted May's minutes. Because these were the June's
Right.
minutes. I'll motion to accept the meeting minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, well, I guess we start with the water report. Due to lack of rainfall most of June, the average daily water usage increased to 72,000 gallons. Since the rains we had last week, we're back down to an average daily usage of 48,000 gallons. You have or will be receiving the yearly CCR report, which is a summary showing the results of the test we took last year and any violation as a result of the test. All tests taken last month are now okay. The plant is still running well. I will be taking 3 water tests in the upcoming month that have to be done during the summer. One of them is a lead and copper test that is taken at the consumer residence. It has to be the first draw of water out of the sink. We have never had a violation of any of these tests. We only have to take five tests. Okay, we'll stay on the topic of water.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Is that 5 for different residences, or is it just 5 for a year?
I believe it's 5 residents.
Okay, I was just curious.
I'm trying to read here for any hint, but it looks like 5 residents.
Okay, I was just curious.
Would that prove if there's lead pipes in it?
Well, that's where I was going on the next one. It shows if it's in the system.
Okay.
Now, so for the next is, I don't know if everybody saw, I posted on the town's Facebook page. The state is requiring, and it's kind of two phases at the exact same time. We have to do a water survey of supply lines from the meter pit to the home. We have, at first it was supposed to just be a random sampling. And they've come back since and said, no, it is all of them. We have to literally do every home and business within the town. Now, why it's a 2-part, anybody that's along the proposed route of the new water lines, so mainly Water Street, the alleys behind Jackson, we have to have those in order to get financing. So we have to have those done by August 1st. Or otherwise we cannot get financing from SRF. The rest of them we have to have done by August 1st or we face fines and violations. We are hoping that this gets extended out because Rural Water Alliance that we're part of won't even call us back because they are just swamped. Because literally every town in the state has got this mandate. Now, in this, we've sent out a letter. People should have received them today. It states about what I just said, and we have 3 ways of identifying it. Basically, the homeowner, this would be the preferred method, would be the homeowner identifies what they have, puts on the paper what they have, whether it be galvanized, plastic, copper, whatever, and if any lead is present, and drops it back off at the town clerk's office.
And that's from the meter into the house.
Meter to the home. And you can't look at the meter pit to find it because the meters all have almost all have a copper lead. So it has to be looked at basically in the home. The other way is if they allow us or one of our contractors to go into their home and actually look. The third, and the way the state actually prefers it, is if we dig a hole in your yard to look at the line. So we're preferring one of the first two options. I think every homeowner is going to prefer that.
Especially ones that just have crawl spaces. They'd rather have you come in that crawl space
Well,
than that.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, me too.
And I have to vote you to do it because you're the skinniest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a
I would
skinny
second
guy.
that.
I don't think you that hole anymore, Jeff, you would.
Yeah. Well, we got,
I should try
he's been smaller. Maybe we can just hire him to do the job for a little bit. But anyway, that we need to get those back. The letters, I think I put a date of the 12th on those letters. Basically, it's 2 weeks from the time they were sent. Hopefully, we get a good response and we don't have to go door to door. Now, the ones along the new water lines, we'll be going door to door on that. I've already went door to door once, collected as many as I could, and I'll be going back out, go door to door again, and hopefully catch more. As I see people, hey, do you know where your water line is? And people usually give me this look like, what? Which I would expect from 95% of people, because I mean, who pays attention to what their water line is?
Me.
Well, unless you've had it replaced.
Yeah, unless you had it better and everything.
So that's where we're at on that. Well, like I said, hopefully we're going to get a good result for that. Any questions that I can answer? Okay. We have 2 resolutions that the state is requiring us to pass in order to get funding. This is kind of proactive. Christy wants us to do them now before we have to. So I'm not going to read them. They're pretty lengthy. If anyone would like to read them, they can. The first one is procurement of federal grants and funds. It's basically saying the any materials have to conform to these standards. Labor has to conform to certain standards, etc. And literally every town is having to do this. The second one is cost principles spending federal funds, and that goes to where the money goes. And we have to have accountability for it. So we'll start with procurement, federal grants and funds. Motion to accept this.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Cost principles spending federal funds. Motion to accept.
Aye.
All in favor?
I'll make a motion.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Tony, all right, he's making the motion.
So is it a second?
Tony
I
seconded.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Easy as that. Once again, we don't have a police report. We're using reserve deputies for patrolling the town. Troy is out. He has been doing limited work. I guess he did respond to an issue about a scooter the other day.
Really?
God bless him.
But that's about, he's otherwise on desk duty.
Maybe that's
God bless him.
hadn't been that long.
So we expect him to be out for another month.
At least.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Because he's got to be released back to full duty before we can take him.
We pray for him.
Who's the town marshal then right now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're using reserve deputies.
The reserve deputy's been filling those hours to make sure we get patrolling. Actually, there's a lot of patrolling going on. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I've actually seen quite a few deputies in
We
town.
will pray for him.
Good for that. I'm glad to hear something.
We have been praying for him. We'll continue.
Other business, update on the community center project. The north side flooring has been ripped out. If anybody follows the Standard Opera House Facebook page, I've been trying to post some pictures. They found some pretty neat artifacts, a couple different signs that date back to probably around 1900. So all the flooring has been ripped up. Unfortunately, the flooring itself is not salvageable. It comes up like toothpicks. It just breaks up. We are looking to try to sell some of the floor joists. Currently, we're trying. I've got 2 wood buyers that would like to buy it all, but currently we're trying to look for anybody local that would like some antique pine. Currently, we're asking $100 a board. It's a 2x12 by 100 by 22 foot approximately usable lumber, depending on which board it is. And so just as a way to try to recoup some of our cost. There's I think there's 27 already been pulled, and there's 36 I believe that are still to be pulled. Any questions regarding that? Flooring, the materials, the floor joist and OSB arrived at the hardware store today, so that'll be getting delivered here shortly, and they'll be putting it down as soon as it comes in. We're hoping the car show in October to actually have the building open where people can go in, and then our plan is next year for the bicentennial to be able to use the inside of the building for something. Even if it's just for people to go in and, have a booth set up inside there.
October next year, you say?
No, October of this year, we're hoping to open it.
This year?
The last
Okay,
Tuesday.
well, I can tell Chunky Steve that and see if he can harbor that piano a little longer.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he'll be able to be done about the next month. He's worried about when he gets up underneath the front of the building, because that whole fascia.
Yeah.
That's why we've not painted, put glass in, anything, is because that all could move. So we don't want to touch anything. They're actually going to pull all the wood off they can, pull everything they can off to lighten it up.
I'll communicate that to him, let him know about that, and see if he can hold off a little while.
Yeah. Eddie, car show update?
Yeah, so on the cruise in, we had 30 sponsors at $200 a piece. And then we've taken in donations. So instead of registration, we do donations. We sell t-shirts and we do 50-50 drawing. Both 50-50 drawings have been donated back to winning portions. So we got a little over $6,000 into the savings account right now. And I've got it in the savings account.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
So the shirts that we're printing, I use the money to buy all the transfers, all of them, and then I only charge the cruise in for the shirts that I printed. Okay, I charge no labor, I charge nothing extra. It's just the $20 I get for the shirts, just about all of the $4 goes back into the car show. So, but it's a little. I got like 632704. I gotta go home and look to make sure I didn't bring my phone. But we've got 6 events total. October 3rd is our big one. We've got a band already booked. It's gonna be $500, but that's the night before the Newport Hill Climb. And there is a whole lot of people that sit down in Newport with nothing to do. And getting over at 9 o'clock, they can still go back and quote party with the rest of them. So my gut is to keep building this and spreading the word to get people here. So the revenue went way down. We only took in $357 this one versus $878 the first time. Some of it is you've got the same people coming. Some people have work schedules that's a conflict. So we got to find a way to spread the word, whether it be with different flyers or whatever. So, but if we can get to 10 grand, that would be fantastic. That's my goal. Can we get there? I don't know, but that's a goal we have. So, But so far it's been good. We've had a lot of people show interest. They want to go in and look. Like Jeff's had the doors open. They can walk in and peek and look at some stuff. You don't know who's going to come into town during that event that may have a deep pocket, that may have money to donate. So,
I can post it at my workplace in Covington.
okay. Yeah, the suggestion was made to me is make a flyer with just the next date on it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna work on instead of all the dates, cause it'll be more standoutish,
I
so.
would be happy to do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was great.
Mhm.
It was great.
Okay. Yeah, IFQ made a donation of $105 too off of kind of what we're doing, so we're also getting extra donations, so, yeah. We got a lot of positive movement, that's for sure. Did you get the paint?
She has the receipt.
She does? Okay. Did you write a check?
No, he just gave it to me tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna pay for that out of this commercial thing.
Okay. Do you
So
want
I
to-
just need a total, just send me a total or something.
Okay, you can write it down.
There, sent.
You got it.
Is that for the one?
So, yeah, just so everyone knows, I don't know if you guys talked about this or not, but Troy and his brother's gonna paint the flag back onto the Opera House. So, and that'll be fantastic, cause all these little extra steps we get for the next cruise in, the next event, whether it be Tarquini's or whatever it may be in town, people will be able to visibly see the upgrades, so.
We're also talking about doing. I think we decided on hot dogs at the next cruise night. So Tarquini's, I just mentioned it. She's like, I've got all the fixings for it. So she's going to donate all the relishes and stuff like produce for it.
I'll do popcorn too.
Yeah.
She's still here.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think
If the Legion wants to do that too, you guys hop in, make some money. I will say, I talked to Gina from G&D's. They did 3.5 times the amount of revenue last Thursday night of any normal day.
Good.
It was huge for them. So I know the pizza place, Wabash Pizza, Lisa was a little frazzled, it looked like. So not only are we bringing money in to help with this Opera House, the revenue coming into town is definitely helping some of the small businesses. And I know Andy brought her little produce cart, if you want to call it that, for the night diner. And she was selling stuff. It's like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sold out of that a bit quick.
so, you know, bringing revenue into town, letting people know we have businesses in there, that's huge, I think, for us. So
Give me a flyer, I'll copy it, and I can send it out at my workplace,
okay,
because I like to sell.
sure,
So I'm on it, you know,
okay, I
so
appreciate
give
that.
me one and I will copy them for free and send it out.
Okay, I'll work on making one tonight, print some off, and leave them at the I'll leave a stack at the Handy Mart and just grab some of those. Grab as many as you need.
Yeah,
So
whatever for Perrysville.
If you see a hot rod or whatever, just gonna put one underneath the windshield wiper.
You want somebody to do the hot dogs then?
Well, we were gonna kind of do it as a fundraiser.
Well, right.
So I mean, I think I volunteered myself.
you voluntold yourself?
Yeah, I volunteered myself. And I don't even like hot dogs.
I don't like hot dogs.
I got sick on them once, and I can't do it after that.
You gotta at least try it twice before you do it.
I used to eat them all the time.
Pack them up, guys. A shot list.
You can get those up for the
There
next
you
week.
go.
Can you? Have you talked to him?
All right.
I don't know if everybody's aware of what's going on at the fire station. Our fire department stepped up and said they would make a place for an ambulance crew to move in there
Yes.
to keep an ambulance on the north end of the county. And I think it's awesome. I mean,
That's
I'm doing the work, but just the fact that they stepped up,
Yeah. a lot more training on top of what they already do.
Yes.
Yeah, Brent,
And
Yes,
the alternative was they were gonna put the ambulance in Clinton.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Brent really fought for that.
he did.
it's wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, the amount of work Brent Lewis has done, the emails, the bickering amongst people, elected officials in our county, he is taking the beating to make this happen for us. So, that man absolutely cares about our town, our citizens, and so, many kudos to the stuff he's done behind scenes that, yeah, it's crazy.
No, there's no, oh, yeah.
Well, Brent.
And I think it's a one,
Perrysville's not dead, okay?
Oh,
They
no.
saved my husband's life when he cut his fingers off, okay? So I think we have the best fire department anybody else in the state has. Trust us to them because they will take care of it. We owe them more than I can tell you.
Does anybody else have any business? Yes, sir.
Okay, who is our liaison between the town and the county?
Don't really
And the
have-
reason I ask is because you was talking sidewalks. The stuff on 32 belongs to the county. The county is saying no, it belongs to the town.
Well,
We
it-
have county attorney question again, or that.
Well, and the reason, because what the attorney's response, there are people tearing up the damn sidewalks around their house because they don't want nobody to fall on them. I mean, whether it's a perfectly good sidewalk or one that's all messed up, you know, if it's on 63 or, you know, my house, somebody fall on the sidewalk, you know, and you want to come sue me? No, I'm going to tear the shit up.
Well, the way the current ordinance is written, and it's quite common throughout the country actually, not just the state. It's the homeowner's responsibility to maintain the sidewalks in a good operational state. The homeowner owns them and must maintain them. If they exist, they must maintain them in existence. You don't have to put them in, but if it's already there, you got to take care of it. So that's the way the ordinance is. You can't rip them out.
Okay.
I should say you can't just rip them out. If you rip them out, you got to put them back.
Well, the thing of it is, like on 32, and I know one because Eddie knows it too, is the trees that are along 32 are messing up the sidewalks.
It's not just there; it's everywhere.
Well, and I understand that,
Yeah.
but if it's me, I'm a homeowner, and the trees are tearing up the sidewalks, I'm gonna pull them up. If the town or the county wants to fight about who's gonna replace them, that's fine. But I'm not gonna have some kid fall out on the sidewalks and come sue me because of the tree roots or whatever. I'm gonna tear the damn things up.
well, you also got the other issue of there's a jagged edge to the piece that you didn't tear up. They can now trip over that one.
If I
This
tear
is
them
never-
all up on my property, that's fine.
Well, then the connecting one though, and then it's still.
It's a never ending. They could trip over a tree root.
Oh, well, we need to figure out who owns the stuff then.
Well, we know who owns it. The problem is, how do we afford to fix it? Because that's not a cheap fix, man. That's millions. So I think Jeff did some of the. There's a community crossings grant, okay, that helps pay for sidewalks. The only way to pay for a sidewalk is if it's tore up due to a road being fixed. That's the way it's written. HWC out of Clinton, or actually Terre Haute, but the guy lives in Clinton, told me that there's no way to finagle that. Jackson Street was redone, repaved through a community crossings grant, okay? They tried to go back and see if they can't tag Jackson Street sidewalks to it since it came from there. They can't even do that. There is no way financially we can afford to fix all these sidewalks unless a company wanted to come in here and do it for free. It is ugly because it's not just the sidewalks, it's the tree work that would be done.
Tree work's what's gonna be the expensive part.
And it's $3,000 to $5,000 a piece for some of these trees, and there's 100 trees probably.
Well, that's to take down the tree. Then you've got to take and stump out. Then you've got possible excavation to remove any, because you can't have any kind of root still underneath the sidewalk.
It's a rabbit hole, and that's the issue, because it's been allowed to go on for 40 years. Instead of fixing it, I took the 3 out of my shop because it was getting worse and worse, and I paid for that myself to get rid of the trees. And I even talked to these guys, like, can I lift those panels up and, what do you call that, chip away, or get the chipper and try to grind out, or grind up the tree roots and put it back down, but they think it'll break. And a concrete guy told me the same thing, concrete's so old it'll just shatter.
And most of them aren't that thick.
Yeah.
Most of them are 2 to 3 inches, and that's it.
So about a year ago, I got a quote on, and it was just an off the cuff, let me look and see how many sidewalks you have, estimate from a concrete company. And they said it's definitely north of $1 million to replace the sidewalks that we have. And the problem is, once we start, if the town pays for the sidewalks that we have, then you run into a problem of people that don't have a sidewalk and want one.
They can
And
have mine.
they're become, it's,
Oh, it's a snowball effect.
yeah, it'd be very litigate, and
Or if they don't have a sidewalk, but there's a sidewalk on the north side, sidewalk on the south side, but they don't want one to connect the two.
yes, Patty.
You said that the sidewalks along 32 is county property? That, to me, that doesn't make sense if it's a state road.
Yeah, especially when
The-
state right of way is way bigger than county right
Yeah,
of way.
the attorney said he thought they belonged to the state. Nobody's gonna claim them.
So
I mean,
if they're,
yeah,
if
State ain't
they're
fixing
gonna,
either.
if they're gonna eventually widen 32, like they're doing 26 and 28, so however many years, months, whatever down the road, they're gonna have to take those trees out themselves.
Yes.
And then would they be responsible then to put the sidewalk
Yeah.
back in?
they
So
were
it'd be a
going,
matter of waiting it out if
Yeah.
possible, and the state would actually do it.
they were going to do that project this year, and then they set it aside. So, you know, maybe we'll see it the next year or two.
So that's a possibility there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, now, Covington has been, doing some sidewalk work up there. What has been their financial, deal to pay for those, do you know?
Covington has a lot of tax base that we do not have.
Exactly.
They built as many homes in the last 5 years that we probably have in our town. Plus the cost of their homes is through the roof.
Well, they also tax different. They have a town tax. So like here, we don't have a tax. So our only tax revenue comes from the state, whereas a lot of larger communities that have more businesses have a 0.1% tax or something that they can get revenue from.
Yeah, plus Mountain County as a whole has
They can own it.
yeah. So
Alright. Any other business? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
like,
Aye.